Welcome everyone to this fourth part of this Phyrexia All Will Be One limited review, and right now we're gonna go over the red cards. If just a quick reminder, the way the cards are rated: the first column is the raw power level, meaning this is the raw power of the cards out of any context. You see it in a pack, you don't have anything else, you don't know what's, or maybe it's the last card you're going to pick and you don't have anything to go with it. That's going to be the raw power of the card. And the second column is the potential of the card, meaning how good it could be if you have worked for it and you have everything to go with it. For example, a Phyrexia Vindicator in white. It's quad white to cast. We rated it 2 for raw power level because it's so hard to cast, but 9 in the right conditions. And same goes for cards with, for example, this one, Plated Onslaught. This one is, you probably want one in your aggro deck, but you probably don't want a million. On its own, it's not great, but if you have a go white deck, this card is, you really want one, and it's going to be one of the best cards of your deck. So on its own, not great. In the right conditions, 7.5. That's the idea. And the ratings are from 1 to 10. You have the scale there, like bad, like 1 to unplayable, up to 7, 10 being really good. All right. Let's do it. All right. So first we have a mythic rare, All Will Be One, 5 mana enchantment. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, All Will Be One deals damage to target opponent creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker an opponent controls. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, all you run deals damage to target opponent creatures. Is it that bad? So on its own, it doesn't do that much. 3 is only 3 in the right deck. You put 1 or more counters in a permanent. So basically, every time you play a creature with oil counters, it deals damage to something. Every time you proliferate, it deals that much. What happens when you proliferate once and you put like 2 counters? Like, let's say you move 3 counters with a proliferate. You deal 3 damage, right? If you have 1 or more counters in permanent or player, All Will Be One deals that much damage. Is it really that bad? Like on its own, it's terrible. On its own, it doesn't do anything. Like I agree. On its own, it's most likely like 1 or 2. Well, on its own, doesn't do anything. Yeah, but then doesn't this take over? Every time you proliferate, like the next proliferate is a bolt or a toxic. Yeah, every time you infect, you deal 1. I mean, it's only 1. I guess this card could be one of these build around. On its own, I agree, it's probably terrible. This is one of the last picks. You have to work to have a shock effect for 5 mana, which is a lot. But if your deck is built around it, well, really infect dedicated. You want to play 5 mana to do nothing. I agree. This is not great. It's just trying to see if it's definitely not gonna be a 10. I'm trying to see if it's a 3 or a 6. Can this card? Yeah. Basically, the question we're gonna ask here is, can it take over a game? Because if that's a crappy card on its own, no problem. If when you build around it, it completely takes over the game, that's a different story, and you shouldn't rank it like 4 if that's the case, because that's gonna be a game winner. Can this be a game winner? If it does 2 damage 3 times a game, I would say 5 or 6. So only you, not your opponent. Whenever you put 1 or more opponent on the permanent player, yeah. I mean, if you put counters on your opponent, also if you put counter on yourself, can you give yourself poison counters? Oh, you can proliferate and give yourself poison counter. That would be 1 more damage. I think would be probably a 5 or a 6. I would probably give it a 6 because I think this card is playable. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to play it just to try it out. And maybe it's going to be crap, and this is a very 6 with a big question mark. The thing is, this is typically the cards I love. A card that doesn't look like anything, that people are gonna rate really low, they can have really late, and you can build around. That's the kind of cards I love. So I think this has more potential than just a 1. Thank you, C1. Welcome back. You can't follow the. We just started. Maybe it's a 5 or 6. Yeah, I wouldn't rate it more than 6 because I don't think it's that good. But I think it's a 6. Awaken the Sleeper. Isn't it? There's a lot of these cards. Yeah, C1 knows what's going on. There's a lot of these cards, like Awaken the Sleeper, Wake the Sleepies. You can't have target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste. Well, that's probably like a 4 and a 5 if you play against the right deck. 4 mana. 4 mana threaten is usually kind of crap, but you might want to have it against equipment decks. Just a threaten effect. I think it's not the best threaten effect, but it's okay. Axiom Engraver. 1/3 for 2. 2 all counters. Okay. Remove an old counter from Axiom and Grade. Discard a draw card. This is not great. This is what... You probably don't want to play that. It doesn't attack. It doesn't loot, it just ramages. What is this? 3 and 3. 5. Wow. These guys are usually 2/2s. 1/3's. It blocks mites, but our mite's gonna be that good. So little, yeah. I think 3 and 3. I think this card is pretty bad. Yeah, 2 old counters is so little. Just 1 and 3. You could do 1 and 3, it's true, but I don't know where it's gonna be. I guess it's still better than all will be 1 in the right deck. Barbed better fist. Barbed. If you could enter the battlefield with old counters, since you are not putting them in one trigger, all will be 1. Are you sure of that? You are putting the counters, of course you are. No, you're not? Are you sure of that? No, you do put the counters. I think it's the same thing with what's the name of that card? Hardened Scaled? Hardened Scales MTG. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be placed on a creature. I think that's the same thing. Yeah. It seems like shield counters. What about shield counters? You can have 2 shield counters, right? Well, I wouldn't have 2 shield counters. It is. I'm pretty sure it works with this. I'm pretty sure you do put 2 counters on it. I mean, the action of taking the counters from outside and putting them on your creature, that's the 2 damage. That's where the 2 damage come from. So yes, we can ask if we have a judge there, and with them having them triggers with enter the battlefield. Why not? Like, this is like when you put counters in from anywhere, it's like what's the text of? Yeah, I'm about that. That's same thing with this guy. One. If you put 1 or more counters in a permanent, put twice that many counters. Yeah, that's like Vorinclex and Planeswalkers. Like, you put the counters on the Planeswalker, and Planeswalkers enter the battlefield with that many loyalty counters. So it does work. Otherwise, this card is very much unplayable. This one would be very much unplayable if it wasn't the case. We wouldn't work with half the cards. Okay, so 2 mana, 3/1, and then it's kind of a Skull Clamp. I don't mind this card. I think this one is actually pretty good. It's a cheap enchantment. 2 mana, 3/1, and then you get the equipment, and that works out with 6 and 6. I think is fair. Three ones upsides, yeah. This the art is kind of like, it's kind of disturbing. Like the rocks on the back. Uh, Bladegraph Aspirant. 2/3 menace. Equipment spells you cast cost 1 less. Abilities of equipment you control target and cost 1 less to cast to activate. I don't like its stats. 2/3 for 3. I guess it's 5/5 or 6/5. Would be 5/5, 5/6, depending if you have equipments. Maybe if like actually 4, you don't want this guy if you don't have equipments. In the right deck, it's probably 6. If you have a lot of equipment, this one is pretty good. Because some of the equipments that we've seen in white are very expensive. And having one less to equip it, you don't equip anywhere, that's the problem. I think could be a 4 and 5 maybe. If equipment becomes better, otherwise just pretty sad. Blazing Crescendo. +3/+1 until end of turn. Exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. No trample. I kind of like this card. I like it better than the 2/2/2 sometimes draw a card. This one you kind of draw every time, and if you're missing a land, that's pretty sweet. Is it what, 5.5 or 6? You won't always play it. It's better than playable, but you won't always play it. 5.5, 7. Jeez. Maybe 6. 6/6. I wouldn't give it 7. It's still just it doesn't give trample, and most of the time you're just gonna. Yes, but it's no trample, and it's 2 mana. +3/+3, that would be a 7. +3/+1, not a 7. Like, it doesn't necessarily save your creature. So that would be the problem. Yeah, 6 and 6 I think is fair. Like, the +1 is no first strike, no trample. Red usually has that one, that has these ones. And yeah, the +1 with no trample and no first strike is kind of a downer. Maybe 5.5 is actually better, but I would probably, we would play this card for sure. Cacophony Scamp. Such a scamp. This combat damage to a player. You may sacrifice it if you do proliferate. When dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Bah, c'est nul ça. C'est nul, c'est tout pourri ça. Non? So you probably don't do the first line, and the second one is pretty lame. That's probably gonna be a filler. Like 4/4. I don't think you ever want to play that one. Do you want to play that guy? So 4 and 4. It's that you might play, so 4 and 4 then. It's bad you kind of desperate to play this one. Gets to its power, so I guess if you equip it, it's better. So probably 5 if you have equipments. Yeah, if you have the right, even then that's still pretty crappy. It's like the one, where was it? The one that gains haste, the 1/1. When you equip it, it gets haste, and when it dies, it does the same thing. It was in Zendikar, I think. That one was not good or playable. You would never play it. Like, you would be almost happy to play it if you had equipment. Hellraiser, okay. 6 mana, 4/4. Got 3 less if you have 9 or more cards in your graveyard, so never. So 6 mana. When Hellraiser enters the battlefield, exile 3 cards at random from your graveyard. Choose a non-creature, non-land card from among them. Copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its casting cost. Okay, this is pretty sweet. Modern playable? I don't think I would go that far. Have you played Modern lately? I don't think this is playable in Modern. 4/4 is too small in Modern. 4/3. You have 9/9 flyers for 2 in Modern. Why would you play 4/4 flying for 3? That's incredible. I don't think that's incredible. It's okay. I mean, it's still very good, but it's not incredible. Unlimited? Probably give it an 8. Like, compare it, for example, compare it to the other dragon from the last of our Brothers War. No, the 4/5 flying deals 4 damage anywhere. And the dragon, the Hellkite of Carriage or something. Yeah, probably 8, 7.5 or 8. Like, it's only 4/4, so it dies to commons, like the Drake, the 4/3 Drake. And it's an end. Yeah. Damn autocorrect. Mais que Shivan. Kavrou Shivan? C'est quoi Kavrou Shivan? Do you ever definitely get to cast it? I think you do, yes. I don't know. I don't think it's that good. I think it's good, but it's not gonna be that. Like if you play blue-red, sometimes it's gonna be 4/4 flying and joy card, which is good value, but it's not. It's not as good as the dragon from last set. Dragon from last set was great, and it was 4/5. Le Drake dont tu parlais qui colle 4. C'est pas Kavrou Shivan ça. Kavrou Shivan, mais ça n'existe pas Kavrou Shivan Kavu, isn't it like the 2/2 protection from white or something? Yeah, I think it's not better than 7.5, I think. Like for a mythic, it's also 3 red. So I don't think it's that Jesus. It's that Jesus. I don't think it's an 8. We've had better 8s. See, that's not even Shivan Dragon. Like, it's not as big as Shivan Dragon. 4/4 is not that big. It's big, but it's not that big. 4 toughness is not that big. I guess if you have better spell, it doesn't work with X spells, with Zeniths or Twilights. So I think 7.5 is. It's good. It's top tier, but not top mythic. Now, what do you think? Do you think I'm underrating it? I would still pick it. Still the best card we've seen so far. But it's probably not the bomb. Chimney Rabble. Well, yeah, 3 red mana. That's also kind of rough. Yeah, of course. I mean, well, that's good because it's rated better than any of the cards we've seen. Three haste makes 2 tokens. Yeah, this one is solid. I'd say the tokens not being haste is a little worse. I would say 6 and 6. This is good common. Make goblins to equip. 3/3 haste, not bad. 4 mana is a little rough, but yeah. It's a little steep, but 3-2 haste. We haven't seen any hasters so far, so. But it seems okay. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil canner on another target non-artifact creature or creature. Okay. Hit a red, a 1/1 red Phyrexia Goblin token. Activate only if an oil canner was removed from permanent you control this turn. A permanent null canner on it was put in the graveyard this turn. Okay, so you can't always make the tokens, but you do add. Yeah, this is build around. Would you play it all the time? I guess 7 is fine because, like, adding oil to a deck that needs the oil canners is great. This card with the all will be once becomes a red-handed. Yeah. So 4, 5, 7. I think like with nothing around, it's probably a 4. But in the right deck, it's probably a 7. Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, adding the counters every turn is pretty nice. It only costing 1 red is something. This kind of cards usually cost 1,000,000 mana. Non-token artifact creature you control. Yeah, this is a nice one. Maybe 7.5. Would pick that over the dragon in a dedicated deck. Actually, could be. Yeah, this is really good. I mean, 7 is really good. So, Dragonwind Glider. Isn't need to do anything with all canners. What do you mean? Doesn't need to do anything with all canners. If an old canner was removed from permanent, I permanent with an old canner. Yeah, but then what? Then what? Oh, then the creature dies. Yeah. It's better if you use oil, but okay. 4/4 flying. For example, I like this one better than the dragon. This is so much better than the dragon. This is probably 8. Because it's gonna be hard to. And haste. Yeah, this is 8. This is better than the dragon. 100%. Yeah, 4/4 flying haste. That's gold span. Plus upsides. Yeah, this is about. This is why we don't rate the dragon better than this. Yeah, and then you could put something else. Yeah, this card is great. There's not much to say. This is the best equipment. Fuseling 0/1 trample. Gets +1 for each oil canner. Whenever Exuberant Fuseling enters the battlefield, and whenever another creature or artifact you control is put in the graveyard from the. Okay, I know. When enters the battlefield, and whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put an old canner. I have to read it again. So why is it 0/1? So okay, so instead of having one counter already, that they just all twisted. So how good is that card? Not great. Probably on par with the rest. 4/5, 4/4. If you have a very aggressive deck, it becomes okay. But then it's just 1x. Yeah. I mean, it's always going to be 1. Well, for now, we've rated 4 and 5. You don't really want to play it. but we'll see. Forge Hammer, since it still takes a lot of work for it to work. If you have it on turn 1, that's great. Maybe is that good in constructed? Whenever fusing into the battlefield, another the battlefield, and whenever another creature or artifact you control is put to your graveyard. Now that doesn't really work so well. If it was another artifact comes into play, that would be great. That's not the case now. Maybe in construct it's going to be pretty hard to make work, right? Into a graveyard. Okay, let me read it again. When fusing enters the battlefield and whenever another creature or artifact you control. Okay, so that's not your opponent's. That would have been great. That would have been your steal and sack. That would have been a good drop in mono red. But maybe it is. Whenever another creature or artifact you could just put together from the battlefield, put an icon on Forge Hammer Centurion. Whenever blah 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 attacks, you may remove 2 oil cannons from. If you do, target creature can't block this turn. It's 5 and 5. Like it's maybe 4 and 5 because it's this one is. This is a little sad indeed. Do we even want to have like all these cards are 4 and 4? Yeah. Yeah. This. What was the card? There was something like this, like when you attack 3/2 attacks and you remove blockers. Not the haste guy in Amonkhet. That was one. That one was great. There was another dude like this. He needs to attack to. Yeah, it's so hard to. It's hard to make it work. Target creature get +2/+2 until end of turn. I guess if there's a lot of stuff that put oils. Okay, this is at least it's a 1 mana +2/+2. This one's probably a 5/5. Better if you have a lot of oil, but for so far everything uses oil, so like it doesn't need to be 5/6. I guess if you have more use for oil, it's better. Sure. Yeah, so, but these guys, we haven't seen too many of these. The blue one is... Ugh. The blue flyer is 3 mana 1/1. I guess the little guy, the little trampling guy. Menace. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, starts that player unless they control 2 or more basic lands. 3 mana, 3/3 menace. Well, 3 mana, 3/3 menace. You'd probably play it. What's it, 5.5, 6, maybe 6/6, because it has good stats. That's probably constructed playable. Yeah, enters the battlefield with 2 old counters on it. 4/5 for 5. Remove an old counter, target creature you control gains haste until end of turn. This one is better. This one is yeah, the other one, the 3/3 menace was actually constructed playable indeed. This one is kind of nice. Was it 6 and 6 as well? It does look like a spider. It doesn't have reach, and it's not a spider. So that's disappointing. Is 6/6 good? It's a big buddy with haste. 4/5 haste for 5 gives haste to something else. Yeah, we haven't seen too many big dudes. There aren't in the other colors either. We haven't seen green yet. Yeah, I kind of like it. I think 6/6 is fine. This is the artifact. You're an artifact, creature 3. It's like the black, the -4/-4. Which black instant? The -4/-4 is sorcery, I think. -4/-4 proliferate. That's sorcery. That's sorcery. That would be insane as instant. If you control the artifact, create 3. So 1 mana, destroy an artifact. There's a lot of artifacts in this set, so this is probably this is probably at least a 5. And well, just like shatters and stuff. Do you think it's 6/6? We haven't seen the white does not have disenchants. Is this better than that? Are we always gonna main deck it? Is it like Shatter from Mirrodin? Is it 6/6? It's fine against pacifisms. It's not good against pacifisms. Alright, maybe 6/6. I could see that being better because there are a lot of artifacts in the set, like a lot of them in every color. Hazardous Blast. 4 mana deals 1 damage to each creature your opponent's control. Creature your opponent can't block this turn. There was exactly the same card, right? Wasn't there a card that was exactly like that? So this is a very high ceiling card. A release. No, that was like 4 mana. Or maybe deal 1 damage to 3 creatures they can't block. There was something very similar. 4 mana sorcery, deal 1 damage to a lot of creatures, can't block. Well, there have been so many of these guys. This is going to be a feel bad card that on its own is probably a 4. But in the right deck it's a 7. I don't remember when it was. I think this card is one of these cards that completely wins the game. And it's a common. This is gonna be the most feel bad card in the set. You can like, oh, I stabilized. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I lose all my stuff. I think it must be like a 5/7. Cosmotronic Wave to each creature your opponent controls. Yeah, well, exactly. Which set was it? Cosmotronic Wave. Ravnica, yeah, okay. So that was exactly the same card. I guess that one was not played that much, but there are a lot of X1s in the set, so I guess it was played. It was played. Problem with Ravnica, it was just so hard to have dudes in play. Like, I could see this just infecting your opponent to death. Don't ask me. Laziness. How about, was 5/7 good for you, you think? Maybe 4/7s if you don't have like beaters. Hexblade Halberd. Yeah, because it will end up in your sideboard if you don't attack. Or if you're not facing small creatures. Trample has first strike and trample. 2/2 first strike trample. For 2 mana? Jeez. On your turn. For 3 mana? I think this card is really good. It's at least a 6. That is right. 2 cards with the same effects in EDH. That's the most important card. You need 2 Cosmotronic Waves in EDH. Yeah, this is really sweet card. Is it a 6.5? Probably not a 7. It's a good card, but I wouldn't go as far as giving it a 7. Maybe this is too high. 7 is too high for this one. 6 is too low. Are we giving this one a 7? It is good. It is good. Maybe 7. Like, the fact you can bring it to something else afterwards when your creature is dead. That's... 2/2 first strike trample is good on its own. I guess 7/7? Which is... Yeah, it could be. Hex Gold Slash. That creature, if it has toxic, plus 4 that creatures instead. Just a shock. Creatures are pretty small. It's a 7/7 as well. Doesn't target players. How good is that shock? Is it 7/7 as well? It's like a frostbite. It's good against black. It's good against white. So far, it's the first removal we've seen in red. This one might be worse. Yeah, just a solid card. Cost Fire of Resistance. Search your library for basic mountain. Okay. It started at 6. Okay. Deals damage to target creature. What's the mountain number of mountains you control? Okay. That's 7 with an ender. This is shit? What? This is not shit. What are you talking about? It's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. I would say I would give it a 7 as well. Oh, you hate the card? Well, I would give it at least a 7 or 8. Like in any deck, in any normal deck, it's probably a 7. In mono red, it's obviously like a 10. Like it's 4-mana deal. Like, I think 7, like in general, if you manage to build mono red, this card is insane. And this is probably one of the best cards you will have. It's like one of the fiction stuff. Yeah, this card is broken. That's why the potential is like up to a 9. That's where in general I would give it a 7 because in some decks I'm pretty sure you'd probably want a removal over that. But in the right deck, this card is gonna be completely bonkers. Well, not really, because you still need to draw. I guess you still deal the first, and it doesn't die as well, because you do up twice and -7. It's still around. It's still around. 3-mana 2/3 trample. When Kuldotha Cackler attacks, it's plus because you enter after one X number of permanent you control with all counters on them. These cards are kind of sad. They don't work on their own, and the stats are pretty bad. Like these cards, I don't know. This feels like everything works in synergy with other cards. So far, this is what I don't like with this set. Every card needs a partner. All these red cards, they need some alt counters on something else. So on their own, they're gonna be bad. When they die, or when their partner dies, they're still sad on their own. So you'll need to work super hard to have just a very like sad effect. I mean, even if you have another permanent with oil canner on it, it's still gonna be a 3/3 trample. It's not that great. It's fine, but it's not that great. And 3 mana. Make it 2/2 for 2. Then it's great. 2/3 for 3. It's so much mana. I like highly synergistic sets usually. It makes the draft very appreciable. Just that the games aren't fun. Like it depends what kind of synergies. If it's like in Bro, if it's like in Brothers War, when when there's a lot of synergies, but the cards do something on their own, it's fun. I enjoy. For example, like not the ballista, the 1/1 double strike joy card. This card is fine on its own. It's a great card on its own, and like for example, repair and recharge on its own it's okay, but pair them together, and you have like an awesome combination. Here you have a shitty card that you're gonna pair with other shitty cards that are not doing anything without each other. So this is my first observation. I don't know if that's gonna play out that way, and so far I kinda expect it to go that way. Like for example, the I don't know. There's some other sets like this. This reminds me more of the Zendikar set. You know, like oh, when you have party, it does this, but it's so ridiculous. It gets +1/+0 if you have a party member. Great, that card is already overcosted. And what's the other party member? 3 for 3. Ah, but super. So happy to play that one. All right, so this is not good. 4 and 4, maybe 4 and 5. If you have a lot of oil, not even. I mean, I'm not even happy to play that one. Magmatic Sprinter, 3/2 haste. Okay. Battlefield, 2 old cannons on target creature artifact or creature you control. Oh wait, is it other creatures? A total of creatures. Number of permanents, okay. Instant return unless you remove 2 old because because you needed to put the second line. So that's another synergistic card twice. Yeah. Then you have to cast it every game. 3/2. Also, this kind of dies right away. 5/5. Yeah, but I don't know how good these oil canners are gonna be. So far, it seems like the payoff is just not good enough. Maybe 5 and 5.5 if you have a lot of good stuff with it. I guess, you know what? The more I see the cards, the more I think this is gonna be great. I think all will be one would be a great card. Everything has oil canners, and all your spells are gonna do 1 or 2 damage. This is much better than it looks. Like every card is gonna be 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage, or 1 damage. That works with this too. Yeah, I think this is better gonna be. It's gonna be better than 7 actually. Molten Rebuke. Choose one of both. Molten Rebuke does 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Destroy their artifact. That was almost exactly the same card as a sorcery. Fury something. Costs 1,000,000. Probably 4 and 4, 4 and 5. Like you want one in your deck, but it's kind of sad. What's the name of that card? Fury Impulse? No, Fury Impulse is the two damage for 1. Now here is Sacrifice. guess this isn't playable and could be amazing. This is the 4/7. Called sweep the board. Sweep the board, do nothing. It's gonna cost to cast this spell. Or creature with mana value X. As you choose among any number of target creatures. I think this card is actually better than that. 6 and 7. This is not a one-sided wrath, but kind of. You think this card isn't that good? I think this card is very good. You just need one creature to deal like... It's gonna be a 2/4/2 or more. Has the potential to be a blowout. How often is it gonna be a 2/3? Depends what you sacrifice, but it can't fizzle. That's really the problem with these cards. You know, they kill your creatures your creature in response, and then. But this is, I think this is okay. I think in the right setup, this is a 7. I would say 6/7. This is a very situational card, indeed. Indeed, but I think it's pretty good. You have just 5 or less, probably. In the right deck, I think it's amazing. What's up, Arabian? Not instant, yeah, obviously. Very often bad. So we give it 5/6 or 4 and 6. I think in the right deck, I'll be happy to have one. Maybe 4 and 6 would do something like this. Typical Chumlock with Fling, then kill another creature or something like that. There is a threaten, that's true. That's cost 4 though. Better with threaten, sure. There are not a lot of sacrifice effects. There's one in black, the glare. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's better than it looks, but I might be wrong on that one. 7 mana, 7/5, trample. Affinity for equipment. So it's gonna cost 6. About 6 or 5. Maybe 5/7/5. That's twice the 5. You want 1. It's not difficult to pay 5 for this. So you play like it's a 5/6. Like if you play some artifacts, some equipments, maybe it's better than that actually in Boris equipment. Yeah. You'd be happy to pay for that, sure. So 6/5 is big. If you don't have equipment, that's pretty sad. Maybe a little better than 6. You don't want too many either because it's still a big dude. Affinity for equipments. Okay, fight an target creature or planeswalker. Okay, this is good. It's probably a 7/7. Almost is it 8/8? It's an 8. Okay, yeah, 3 mana kills everything. I like it. Sure. Yeah, oh, it also kills the big things. But does it? Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. So token bombs, yeah. The rare dudes, yeah. All right, yeah, that's pretty good. All right, 8/8. Zenith. Destroy up to X target artifacts. Effect is 5 for each destroyed this way. Then it's a copy of it. Those tokens get haste. Exile them at the beginning of your next end step. I don't think it's so bad, no. I don't think it's that bad. Sideboard. There's a lot of artifacts in all colors. I think it's you play it either way. I mean I don't think you don't play it. So probably like with the blowout potential of 8. I think it's actually 6/8 or something. It could be even more. It could be 7/8. Yeah, obviously missing the context, but we've seen a lot of artifacts in every color. I think so. So it might be more. Is it 7/8? It might be 7 actually. Dead card half games? I don't think it's dead card. I don't think it's a dead card. You would rather play removal than this? So for 4 mana you do 1 for 2? 3/5? No way, man. No way. If you hit a 1 for 3 with this card, just win the game. There are not a lot of cards. There are not a lot of cards that would do that much damage. Find more cards that have the potential to do like 1 for 3 or 1 for 4. Yeah. I think I would play it. I think I would play it either way. If you have this versus you white or red white, it's gonna be a ton of value. Yeah. A ton of value town, yes. I think 6/8 is correct. The ceiling is very high for this. Right. Feast of Famine. I would still play this card. 5/8, between 5/8 and 6/8, yeah. I'm gonna stick to 6 because I think you played either way. I think you kinda, it's like the shoot down. You would never pick one, pack one. That's why it's a 6 and not a 9. But sideboard, if you're playing best of 3, I think this is much better than the 6. It's an interesting pick. It's an interesting card. It's kind of shoot down, but shoot down only kills one creature or one card. Mana's Reach. This guy's pretty good. Is it the 7/7? This guy. 5 for 5 Mana's Reach. 7/7 seems fine. Doesn't have anything special, just a big dude with good stats. Haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put null counter on blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah, that's why it's 7/7. Not 5/5. Put a null counter on this guy. C'est un peu nul ça aussi, hein. 5/7. Is it? The body's so bad. Like you don't want to play 1/1s for 1. I think it's a 5/5. These cards are so lame. They don't They're so small. Dedicated deck. Sure, it's gonna be a little better, but not 7. Maybe 6. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's one mana, 1 damage. True. Well, still, that's not great. It's only 1. You get only 1 counter, right? No, it doesn't have any counter to begin with. Okay. When Shrapnel Slinger enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature. When you do, destroy their artifact and opponent controls. 2/2 for 2. Call this a braid with a 2/2. What? Well, this is still a pretty sweet card. How do you rate this one? 6.5, 7? Wow, this is actually pretty good. The Shatter for 1 for 2 mana. Sorcery speed. Or get a 2/2. Well, you can sack the mites as well. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I think this one is good. Is it the 7/7 as well? I think I like it. You'll play it whatever. You'll play it either way. Okay, this is a good common. I think 7/7 is fine. It's not like maybe is it on par with the 5/5? If you need early drops, this is pretty sweet. Yeah, I kind of like it. Slow Bad Iron Goblin. 3/3. Sacrifice an artifact. Add an amount of red equal to sacrifice artifact. C'est nul. Is it 5/5? It's a 3/3 for 3. Sacrifice an artifact. Yeah. So what happened to Slow Bad? It's just a 3/3. Yeah, then 5/5. I don't want to. 3/3 for 3 is not 6. Come on, man. 3/3 for 3 is just playable. You're not like, oh yeah, you have a 3/3. Like I'd probably play the 3/2 trample over this guy. Well, it depends what you can do with the mana, but that doesn't look like something you probably do. This is Slow Bad and Bush. Is that what it is? he melted with Bush. Well, maybe Meriden did not deserve to be saved, okay? Well, Glisa turned a long time ago. 4 mana, if a source you control would deal damage, non-card damage to an opponent or permanent independent controls, it deals double that damage instead. Discard 2 cards. Yeah, it's hard to kill. The passive is great? Really? I thought the passive was actually pretty sad compared to the other ones. Compared to, like, some of them are not great, but this passive is not great in limited. How is that good? How is the passive good? The indestructible thing is great. The body is great, but the passive is not that great. Passive plus 1 damage. Is it? This would be 2 damage. It's non-combat damage. if a sorcery control would deal non-combat damage. Your creatures are not doing double damage. It's non-combat damage. Yes, still a 9? I don't. The passive is pretty sad. Oh yeah, it would be insane, but that's not the case. If only this was instant. It's still good. It's probably 8.5, but it's not. Yeah, probably 8.5. Discarding 2 cards is not that hard. You probably won't do it if it doesn't get targeted. It's gonna be hard to be dealt with. 5/4 for 4 is big. I think that's fine. 5/4 for 4 is good. Unless you cost to discard a card or 2 cards. Yeah, thrill. There are not a lot of ways to draw cards or to filter your hand. That's kind of concerning to me. The heavy cost for indestructible? Is it? I mean, you're not gonna do it if it doesn't die. So you're probably gonna trade 2 for 2, because you attack, they're gonna block, you're gonna make it indestructible, they kill it in response, or something like that. Oh, I guess that's not a good example. So how is this one? Like 5 and 5? You probably want to play it as instant. Maybe 2, maybe 6. It's one of a kind. There are not a lot of ways to fix your hand. So probably 5 and 5. You probably want to play it. 4 mana, 4/2. It's the number of permanent you control with old counters on them. Okay, well this is classic 4 mana stuff. This one is a what? This one is a like 6 and 7. Oh wait, no, actually not. It's not a 6. It's probably 8/8. It doesn't do anything if you don't have oil canners. It's not like the giant from Kaldheim that deals damage anyway. This one doesn't do anything if you have nothing next to it. So probably 5, because maybe you're gonna deal 1 damage. Probably 6 if you have other ones. It will be hard to not have oil when playing red. But that's the thing. Is it gonna be hard or easy? Because I think what's gonna happen is that, yeah, maybe 5/7 or 4/7, yeah. What's gonna happen is that you're gonna put oil on your stuff, and you're gonna be attacking or you're gonna be trading, and then your creatures are gonna die, and this is not gonna do anything. So I guess it's fine when you have a lot, but I don't think the ceiling is that high. Maybe 7 if you have like a lot of them, but otherwise probably just a 5. Urabas Force. The beginning of combat on your turn, but null counter before, and then create X1 token with trample and haste. Number of this one is probably very, very low at first. Or you probably don't even want to play it. Sacrifice at the end of the next end step. So first you have a 1/1, then a 2/1, then you can put oil on it. I guess this could be like very high ceiling as well. If you put oil on it, that could be pretty good. This is a 9/9. Are you kidding me? How is this a 9/9? Nine baseline? I would say the baseline is very low. Wins the game by itself? How? I think the baseline is very low and it's very good on the, and it's probably like if you do have ways, a lot of ways to put oil on it, it's probably good. By 7 turns, so you played on turn 3, so you waste your turn 3, and you wait for turn 10 to do something good. Maybe it's 4-7, I'd say. Like the first couple of attacks are not gonna do anything, but then it's gonna be good. By turn 6 or 7, it's gonna be fine. If you put it on turn 3, you need to put oil on it. If you have a deck that puts oil on it, aggressive enough, and doesn't mind to take a bidding at first, fine. But I wouldn't give more than 4. Yeah. This is a very mediocre card. It seems that all payoffs were nerfed a lot. Doesn't seem like a good archetype at all, so much work for meager payoffs. A big builder on, yeah. Yeah, for now the free dudes to sack, we don't really have any payoffs to sack. Not going to pick this early. This is the type of cards you pick on pack 3 after having a whole dedicated deck. Yes, kind of agree with that. The baseline is very low, I think, and it's probably fine. I don't think it's more than 7, and it's gonna be pretty good. And 7 is a good score, but I would still play a 5/5 over this. I would still pick a 5/5 menace reach over this. The best sack outlet is the stupid rat. That's true. That is true. They don't corrupt much, the red dudes. Finicky Flame Stalker. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an old counter. That doesn't start well. It's a rare. Okay. Sacrifice Flame Stalker. Flame Stoker, sorry. Discard your hand, then your 4 cards. Mais c'est nul à chier ça. C'est tout pourri ça. C'est ok quoi. For 7? It's 8 mana, draw 4 cards? That's not good. Come on, man. There was a card that was doing almost the same thing and no one played it. And you discard your hand as well. It's not just draw 4 cards. Was it the Eidolon of something in Theros? What was it? 1 blue, 1/2. What was the name of that guy? Eidolon of draw cards. He doesn't attack. Eidolon of philosophy. What does it do? Card Eidolon of. Yeah, but what's the for 1/2 sacrifice, draw 3 cards. Like this was not good. Oh, this guy, come on. How many non-creature spells are you gonna play? How many non-creature spells are you gonna play? Maybe 1, 2? And the other one was draw 3 cards, not discard your hand, draw cards. Maybe 6/6, you play it, but you're not too happy with it. Is it spell plus proliferate? Even if you proliferate, that's still a ton of work. And you're going to lose your hand. Like, this is not just draw 4 cards. There are so many cards that do like have so much better effects. It's a card for 1/2 for 1, doesn't do anything. You wanted to have it early, so you're gonna waste your first turn or first couple turns. Well, it's only 1 mana, so it's not that bad. But then it needs to survive. You need to discard your hand, so you're not going to sacrifice it early. So as even if you have 5 mana, you're not gonna do it right away because you need to discard your hand. I think 6/6 is generous for this guy. You're gonna play it when you have it, but this is not a bomb or anything. Not a big fan. Vulture, deal to any target proliferate. Do we know that one, right? Yeah, this one is sweet. Talking about 7/7 more. Yeah. This one was in what? This one was in Mirrodin, right? One of the Mirrodin. It said that one of these cards, one of these, like the best cards are from the older sets. Volshock Splitter. 4 Mirrodin. 4 mana, 4/2. Yeah, it's gonna be a 5/5, a 4/5. It's a pretty sad card. Oh, new Phyrexia, yeah. Yeah, maybe 4/4. It's just one of the bad equipments. You'd play 1 if you can, a desperate for an equipment. 4/2 for 4, that's just so bad. And 3 mana to equip. That's pretty sad. Okay. Is that it for red? I'm not excited about red at all. Like, feels like the payoffs for red are not that good. Like, this is the best. Let's say you have a dedicated red deck, and this is only what you get when you have dedication. Like 7s. Red is crazy. It does all the things, but none good. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea is this, you know? Like, you check this column if you think you have everything right. And then even the score's not even that good. Yeah, we'll have to see how it plays, that's true. But then, there's no... Like, it's not a lot of other colors that give oil. So... The rares are okay. The Dominus, but this one is mythic. The Koth asks you to play mono red for it to be insane. Yeah, this one, the Glider is insane. The Glider is the best card, I think. I think it's actually better than this. I'd play the Glider over this. I think Glider is like probably 9 actually. For red, I think, yeah. The Glider is pretty incredible actually. The Glider is the 4/4 fly. It's the dragon. This is the best red card. Not close. Doesn't care about oil, just goes to the face. Yeah. This is a strong equipment. The rest is just pretty bad, I think. It's not. Is it Volcanic Dragon? It's not Volcanic Dragon. Modus Skyclave from Zendikar. It's much better. Volcanic Dragon was 6/6. Was 6 mana. 4/4 flying haste. It was 6 mana. It was a lot worse. It was a lot worse than this. Yeah, this is a 9, I think. No need for oil, no need for bullshit. This is just a very good card. The rest is, I have to say, pretty disappointing. I think this All Will Be One is probably you probably played because there's so many of them. You're probably just playing it because so many of the cards give oil and red seems so bad. But in the dedicated deck, I think this is probably an 8 as well. I think it takes, with everything that we've seen, that will take over the game. Probably pretty easily. So I'm gonna give it an 8. What else? Which one? Which one did we have a hard time rating? Then the creatures are just badly costed. Feels like there's a lot of 1/1s for 1 that don't actually do that much. At 2, there are 2 creatures. There's the Abrade guy and another one, and the 3/1 and the equipment. And then everything is 3 mana, and they're not very good. So yeah, I'm not too excited about red. Also, red is not gonna pair very well with black that wants to intoxicate, to infect your opponent, and that does nothing to help. And it doesn't have any oil. So we're gonna see with green, but I don't see maybe with the white. White also cares a lot about toxic, and this has nothing to do with toxic. This is too different. I don't like these synergies that have nothing to do with each other. Like white doesn't care about oil at all. Like you're gonna put oil on your stuff and that's not gonna do anything. And red doesn't care at all about your opponent being infected. So these are two strategies that have no synergies. And that's actually what I hate about these designs. But you want all the colors to pair with each other. That's how you know a draft format is balanced. And again, this is just my perception of this at first glance, because I haven't played yet, and this is how I see it. We'll see if what I say comes true. Yeah, if red is only good with green, that's not a good format. It's a two. If you play red, and your neighbors draft green, and you have no access to green, you're gonna end up with only red, and red kind of sucks. So there are even cards that have contradictory effects, like giving a toxic creature +2/+2, or the other blue thing that makes it evasive that pumps toughness. I did not understand what you said, but sure. So we'll see. Right now, red seems pretty weak. Well, compared to white and black, it seems pretty weak. It's probably a little better than blue. That blue looked a little sad as well. Some of the cards are fine. Some of the rares are fine. The average baseline of red cards is pretty low. So I would not be happy to like get into red. The glider is great. The rest is medium. Like the rare is not even that good. All right, I think that that concludes our review for the red cards. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll be right back for part 5 and the color green. Take care.